Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are at game number 2 between EG HuK and MVP DRG. Winner of the last game, DRG, with some very impressive Roach aggression, moving off of 4 bases with his Roaches, was able to split up HuK's forces and basically just whittle him down a little bit at a time, and eventually he got himself in a position where he was about to drop HuK's third, putting HuK on 2 bases with DRG on 4 bases. HuK, realizing that he was about to lose his third, just ends up calling the GG. Pretty interesting and fun to watch game, however. It's not all the time that you see that heavy of aggression at that point in the game from a Zerg player, so that was really fun to watch, to be perfectly honest with you. I quite enjoyed the game, even though it was relatively short. I don't know, what was it, like 16 minutes game time or something like that, which puts it about 10 or 12 minutes actual real human time. All right, we're going to be seeing a forage fast expand here from HuK, going with a wall off in this direction towards the Nexus being placed here, and then having to find some means of defending over in that open space as well. Now, DRG could go hatch first. This is a 4-player map. It's also relatively large. If he doesn't get scouted first and foremost by HuK, then he certainly could do that, but it looks like HuK is actually going to be moving directly cross-positional with a lovely heart. So, you know what? It could very well also be the case that this variation of the map is only cross-positional spawns. They do that quite often. They take some of these 4-player maps and they set spawn positions in professional tournaments, so that could be this. I really don't know off of hand, but could certainly be the case. And there you go, HuK moves in his heart pattern. Of course, HuK known for doing those lovely hearts. Oh, what a joyous soul he is, huh? All right, now DRG will be trying to drop the hatch, and he gets it as HuK, with a little bit of misstep there, wasn't able to get in the good position. But this is the other danger. We got a forge up. He's going to place a pylon, and the threat of cannons here is a huge problem. Now we're going to see that drone move down. He scouts out the fact that the cannon is being placed. Keep in mind the hatchery vision is very small, so he needed a second unit to scout that pylon. And here comes the cannons. First cannon gets dropped, second cannon gets dropped as well, and a third. Now, he is obviously liable to cancel off probably about 2 of these, but he's just going to continue to drop these, delaying his Nexus to, you know, force DRG to pick some targets, and then he'll just let the other ones finish. But I don't know if this is going to work out for him. Oh, doesn't get the cancel. Did he not get the cancel on that? I don't think he did. That is terrible. Didn't get the cancel on that one. Forced to cancel all of them and loses the pylon. That was a very botched attempt at early game harass. Quite unfortunate for HuK. HuK, his probe just heads back home, his head hanging down in shame. Look at how ashamed that probe is. You can see him staring at the ground. He's like, I'm sorry, HuK, I failed. So yes, unfortunately there for HuK, that did not work out for him at all. Ends up losing a pretty hefty amount of resources there, losing off the pylon, losing partial resources for the canceled cannons, and then losing a full resource for this one cannon over here that did not get canceled in time. That was very unfortunate there for HuK. Now we're going to see some attempted counter aggression. Obviously this is not going to do a lot of damage. The cannon has a nice range. The Lings can sit about up here, but that is it. If they try to creep too much further, they do have to worry about getting hit by this cannon. They're just trying to circumvent all the way around, hugging the edge, now attempting to make their way into the main. We're going to see the workers come on down, and DRG says, I am happy to engage you here, and kill off a few of those workers, and then he just walks in the main. What a headache here for HuK. A little bit of a misstep early game puts him behind tremendously. Now he has only lost 1 worker, but there's been a lot of mining downtime with all the workers that he's been forced to pull off the line just to deal with these Lings early on. Now these Lings are goners, they are dead, but he's really disrupting HuK's early game economy. This is not a good start for HuK at all. The Zealot trying to chase down those Lings. He's obviously going to have a difficult time with that, and the Lings will be attempting to pull forward. Ooh, ends up losing 2 Lings. Staying there a bit too long. Now he killed off a second worker in the process, so I do suppose that is worth it. Not a bad trade, 2 Lings for a worker. It's the same amount of resources, and your opponent losing a worker obviously hurts them a bit more than you losing 2 Lings, because as a result they lose that little bit of extra economy that they could otherwise have. Now back over here, DRG is up with the 2 extractors there in the main. Also has, as we can see, of course, this third up and running over here. He's working to saturate that at the moment. A couple Lings fanning out, looking for secondary scouting probes. And we do have that very thing over here, and we'll see if those Lings manage to catch wind of that. At the same time, a Zealot moving his way across the map. Let's see where those Lings are going. They are walking straight towards that probe. Oh, sorry, probe. 2 Lings here will be forcing you back home. Really nothing you can do about that. A couple more Lings over here as well. Metabolic boost now just starting. Roach Warren is also coming out. The Zealot is continuing its way on through. However, he's going to encounter all these Lings, and he will be taken out. Let's see how many Lings he can take out in the process. We do have the Stalker will be taking out the Overlord. I think he should get it. If he just grants himself vision over here from a probe, he will be able to continuously maintain vision of that Overlord. Oh no, he doesn't do it. Wow, as he's changing focus there to the Zerglings that are chasing that probe. And the Zealot in the center of the map did get taken out. Zergling pulling his way on through, and the Stalker now moving over here trying to deal with the Overlord. Now this Overlord is just here for scouting purposes, and he will be scouting all these gateways. Stalker now finally able to take him out, but this is a pretty full-on scout here. He knows exactly what HuK has. Yeah, HuK is hurting pretty bad so far this game. And don't let that deceive you. He really is further behind than that. Losing the resources, losing all that mining time. Pretty bad. Taking a look at the income tab, you can see DongRegu is ahead, which we obviously do expect as he is on 3 bases and fairly well saturated. We have a layer coming on through. Metabolic boost now just finishing, turning those regular Zerglings into Speedlings. Ah, yes. HuK now moves into his third. That's going to be tough for him to defend if DongRegu decides to push out off of these 3 bases. He is going to certainly have an upper hand. Yeah, this is definitely going to be tough right now for HuK to defend him. I mean, you take a look at his army size. It is very, very small. Very insignificant in comparison to what DongRegu has right now. And he is continuing to pump out those Roaches. The Burrow research coming through. Looks like DongRegu is planning the same style of push that we saw him do last game. Just heavy Roach with a little bit of Speedlings for support. Burrow research coming through. Why the Burrow? Well, the biggest thing there, of course, with those Roaches is that when you burrow them, they've got a tremendous increase in their regeneration rate, and that is huge, very beneficial, especially when your Protoss opponent doesn't have a ton of tech. I mean, you can see right now he's got no Observer. No robotics in place and no observers as a result, and he's gonna have trouble dealing with that if we see this push come in, synchronized without Burrow research finished. Could be a problem. Now Blink research is up here for HuK. That's gonna help him a bit, most certainly. Blinking forward, Lings spotting the blink, decide to pull back immediately. Still massing up those Roaches. Ton of Speedlings also coming out with this one. A lot more Speedlings than we saw last game in this push from DongRegu. But make no questions about it, DongRegu is pushing very soon. At least that's what I'm expecting to happen. Glob Reconstitution also coming through. Again, that is the Roach speed. Zealots and Stalkers moving out. Now we do have a Scout, and the Lings pull forward. They scout HuK's third. And DongRegu, please don't disappoint me. Let's move out. Let's be aggressive. Meet these forces in the middle. Pretty sure he's got the advantage right now. Yeah, he's over double the supply. Lings moving for a surround. Now the Stalkers will be able to escape that, but the Zealots won't. And now the Roaches pulling forward. HuK realizes that's a bit too much for him to handle. Decides to pull on back. Zealots are a goner. Lings getting us around, rooting them in place, allowing those Roaches to catch up and drop them quickly. Stalkers blinking back, and again, this is going to be very hard for HuK to defend. He does have the advantage of being very close to the pylon power, being able to consistently warp in, and it looks like DongRegu is going straight for that expansion. He says, you know what, I'm going to lose all this, but I don't care. He does have a lot of reinforcements coming out, though. Lots and lots of Speedlings and a few more Roaches, and he is turning to fight these forces here. Zealots doing what they can for damage. Nice positioning there. The Roaches preventing the Zealots from being able to get us around. Lings moving forward. Stalkers blinking up on the high ground, preventing them from doing all that much damage. And HuK should be able to defend here. Looks like he is actually all set, even with these continuous reinforcements. DongRegu, is he going to try to pull on here and do some damage as well? Yeah, there you go. HuK managing to defend. A couple burrowed Roaches there, threatening to engage later on. Gonna have some Zealots warped right on top of them. Zealots and Stalkers pulling forward. Good on HuK for being able to defend. I am pretty impressed, to be honest with you. He did an excellent job there, even with that good Roach positioning and everything. And right now, you know, he's got nothing to deal with this. He will come out with that cannon, which gives him a little bit of extra detection range. Oh, Lings pulling up into the main. What a headache with the Lings in the main right now. He's coming through with those Zealots. doing what he can, but he is forced off the line with all of these workers, and we still have those roaches over here, but however, those stalkers will really prevent them from doing too much damage. But my gosh, these lings in the main, a big problem again, just putting HuK behind. I don't know that he lost too many workers there, but he was forced off the line, and all that time he spent moving from that position all the way over. Oh my god, what is he doing? Why? Oh no. Are you serious? Does he? Okay, he does. Yeah, he's coming out with 2 zealots to deal with that. The roaches are still being dealt with there by those stalkers. And we do finally have those observers coming on through. None in play yet. First one coming through at the moment. Unburrowing, moving forward to try to do some damage, and then reburrowing again with still no observer. He can still be a headache and force HuK to sit here with all of his forces to defend against the possibility of these units unburrowing. This cannon coming up will detect these roaches and allow these stalkers to engage immediately. There you go. Now in the meantime, DRG coming out with infestors. And I do wonder, let's take a look over here. That was taking care of lings, pulling forward. We still have no lings over here. Those lings are going to pull on down into this position. Just take a quick look here. Yes, the research is finished. Pathogen gland research there for those infestors, allowing them to fungal growth the second that they hatch. So in the meantime, while DRG was doing all that, he was also teching up, as we saw. Taking a look at the upgrades, he's got the 1 Carapace upgrade finished, with the 1 missile attack now just finished, and 2 Carapace coming through. And you want to take a look at HuK's upgrades. He is 0-2, 2 weapons upgrades, with the level 3 weapon upgrade also coming on through right now as well. Speedling Roach Infestor, DRG continues up his aggressive streak. He has been so relentless here, basically making it so that HuK doesn't have the opportunity to counterattack, pushing out non-stop. Nice fungal growth, rooting those zealots in place without charge upgrade. That is a big problem for them. And these roaches going to continue to do damage. Stalkers blinking forward, taking out some of those infestors, trying to burrow, but the observer makes that not that effective. A fungal growth plus the rest of these roaches taking out the rest of the stalkers. However, a lot more warp-ins are going to allow him to defend for the moment. Now we do have those infestors pulling back. These roaches still staying here to engage, sacrificing themselves to try to do a little bit of extra damage, pulling forward and just trying to soften up those stalker numbers as much as possible and buy time for all of these reinforcements that are moving out across the map. Infestors over here trying to regenerate a little bit of energy and health and just kind of stay out of harm's way. You know, never know if HuK's going to send a small little task force of zealots to try to snipe these out or something. I don't know if do we still not have charge upgrade? Yeah, we do not have charge upgrade. Just the weapons level 3 and some immortals coming out, but that's about it. Continuous roach aggression. He is so relentless. It is unbelievable to see how aggressive DRG is playing here. He's also at the same time macroing up. He's got another base coming on down in the lower right-hand position, doing as much damage as he can over here. Roach is pulling over from that position as well. And here come the infestors, allowing him to get some more fungal growth down, do additional damage, root those stalkers in place, preventing them from blinking back. Watch out for that immortal. There you go, Roach is moving forward. Almost drops the infestor in one shot. However, he is managing to use those roaches to prevent that from happening. One infestor gets dropped, going to be burrowing those infestors there. There's no observer over here, really? Wow. That's really unbelievable. There we go, observer finally pulling back. More and more roaches coming through. 14 more roaches in production. A couple of infested Terrans also getting dropped as DRG just keeps it up, and he is giving me no breathing room whatsoever. The constant aggression here from DRG is making it so that I just have to focus on this engagement. Otherwise, I would be missing stuff. A few more roaches moving across the map. DRG now drops the robotics. Ouch. Those were where those immortals were coming from there for HuK, and now without immortals, this roach heavy army is going to be a problem. He is 2-1 with level 2 missile attack coming through as well. Not sure where those infestors went. Did they get taken out? I think they may have. There's 3 infestors left. I just don't see them at the moment. Those may be back at home. But DRG now drops the 3rd of HuK. Unreal, with more units streaming across the map. The fact that he can be this aggressive and still have the macro that he does, coming out with another base, having this base nice and saturated, and just continuously streaming out these units, and HuK losing this was pretty much the dagger in the heart. I don't expect him to be able to win at this point in the game. Taking a look at the resources lost, HuK is a bit behind. He's also lost 33 workers. That number is climbing and climbing and climbing as he is engaging with those probes over here. And more roaches continue to push forward, and HuK says GG and good luck to DRG, and that does it for the series. I must say DRG deserves a round of applause right now, because this is really unbelievable. If you're at home all by yourself, I don't care. Give this man a hand. Unreal play from DRG. HuK did what he could and managed to hang on for quite a while, but DRG with the very impressive aggression while macroing back at home and continuously pushing with his Roaches, Speedlings, and Infestors, was just able to overwhelm and exhaust HuK to the point of a loss. And taking out this third obviously was the point in the game where he really did seal that victory. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy the series. I will be planning to come out with more commentaries from MLG Winter, the event that did just take place over the weekend. So hopefully you guys have been liking these series thus far, and you will continue to enjoy them in the future. Thanks again for watching. If you like the content, please subscribe. And as always, keep watching and keep owning.